You're watching Insight, a North Shore Schools instructional technology episode. Hello folks, I'm Nathan and we are going to go over building a SchoolCenter page from start to finish. We're going to go over setting up your home page, adding an image, a link, and text, and formatting that text. We're also going to add a calendar page where we can add events and categories, and then we're going to add a document manager page where we can upload files, handouts, permission slips, any kind of document that we want. And then we're also going to add categories to the document manager page. Okay, so I'm going to go kind of fast. Feel free to pause the recording, rewind, watch things again, but let's go ahead and start off by logging into SchoolCenter. So to log into SchoolCenter, we go to nsd.org/admin. And that'll take you here. Go nbruno, put my password. And your password here is not related to your email password for the district unless you have set it to be so. And I always set my password to be the same so that I don't have to keep track of two passwords. If you change your district password, you'll also want to change your SchoolCenter password to match it. To do that, you manage your password right here. Edit my account settings. And here I can type my password twice to reset it to whatever I want. Alright, I'll cancel that. Now I'm going to go to my website, and you'll find your website by going under the site access box. It should show up right here. These are the sites that you have permission to edit. Okay, so click on your site, and I'm going to go right here to this blank Mr. Rogers website, which I'm going to be using to demo today. Alright, well, let's get started by having a look at our page. So right now I see a blue bar across the top that tells me that I'm logged into SchoolCenter. I'm also viewing this page as if I were an outsider, a parent or a student. This is what it looks like to the public. When I press edit here, now I'm in edit mode and I can start editing this page, and it looks a little bit different. Okay, so first thing I want to do is do a little page setup stuff. So I'm going to go to page settings, and I want to make my page easy to access. So under subdirectory right here, I'm going to set my subdirectory to be Mr. Rogers. And what that does is it makes it so that, I'll press done, it makes it so that if anyone wants to access my web page, all they have to do is in the URL field here, all they have to do is type www.nsd.org/Mr. Rogers, and it takes them right to my page. Okay, so I can put that on my course syllabus or newsletter home so that people have nice, easy access. They don't have to type in this entire string here, which you could very easily get one character wrong and not make it to my web page. Okay. All right, now I want to add some content, so I'm going to say new content box right here. All right, and that will add a content box. This little blue outlined box here is the content box. If I click inside that, I can immediately start text editing. So I'm going to give this, let people know who I am, Mr. Rogers, and this is a first grade. And then I'm going to get some text here. I'm just going to pull it off of Wikipedia. For some sample text, you might put a little introduction to yourself here on your page. So let's press save and just see what that looks like. Okay, that's what it looks like to the general public. I'm going to do a little formatting so that the name pops off the page a little. This text is a little smaller, so to get back into editing the text, I'm just going to click on that box again, and all my word processing tools pop up here. So I'll select Mr. Rogers. Font size, I'm going to make that as big as I can, and I'll also make it bold. I'll do first grade italics, maybe bump that up to 3, maybe 4. Okay, and then the body of this text, I can make that a little smaller. Good. And I'm also going to break all those links. Okay, good. Okay, so I've got my text set up there. I'm going to add a picture now. There's 2 ways to add images in SchoolCenter, one of which is adding a picture amongst the text so that it's just in between letters or somewhere in the flow of the text. The other way, is to add a picture outside the text, which then gives you some formatting tools like having the text wrap around the image like a newspaper would. So we'll start off with just putting it amongst the text. I'm gonna add the picture right here where my cursor is blinking. Okay, so put your cursor where you want the picture to be, and then you go up here to this Insert Image button, and we're just going to keep clicking here. This next button is to browse to the picture. Click on that, and then we need to choose the file on our computer. It's on my desktop, and I want the trolley. Okay, choose that. Now we're going to upload. You see it shows up right here, so we upload it. And I'm going to change the size to about 30%. I'm getting these red messages saying, hey, this picture is too big. It's not going to fit on your page. So I know most people would like to be able to just drag that slider over, and that's what it looks like it should do, but you can't. You have to just click where you want it to be. So I clicked on about 30%, shifts it over to 30%. That's a great size for that image. So I'll say done and insert. And sure enough, there it is. Okay, I'm going to save that, and there I have an image in my text here. Okay, to format, edit that image, I need to go back into my text, and now I can edit it just as if it was a piece of text, a character. So I can center it using that same technique. That's nice. And if I wanted to delete it, I could actually just click on it and press delete, just like I was deleting a letter or a word in my text here. Okay, but I'm going to keep it. Alright, so now I'm going to add a picture of Mr. Rogers, because I think adding a picture of yourself on your web page is a nice little PR for parents and students that may not necessarily know you, so they can go look up and see what you look like, so that when they bump into you in the hallway, they know it's you. So we'll press save. And here is how we add images outside of the text. You have to be in edit mode, right? And you need to not be editing a text box. And then you need to roll your mouse over a content box. Okay, so I'm going to click on this add image icon, which pops up when I roll my mouse over the content box, and the same thing, choose the file. There's my Mr. Rogers picture on my desktop. Choose that, upload it, and then I'm going to set this to, this is a pretty big picture, so I'm going to go to about 20%. Okay. Once we save this setting, you can no longer go back to the larger size. You can always make it smaller, but once we press done here, this image file is saved at that setting. So that's still a little big, but let's go ahead and do some formatting. Okay, so by default it puts this picture right at the top and it pushes all the text down. Once you put a picture in here, you roll your mouse over this same icon and you'll get a menu of things that you can do with this picture that you put in. This doesn't show up until you've actually inserted a picture, right? And now I'm going to go to Edit Image Location, and these are the different text wrap styles that you can choose from. I prefer this picture on the left one, so I'm going to pick that. You can kind of see how the text is going to wrap around. Save layout. And sure enough, my text wraps around Mr. Rogers nice and neat there. So why don't I go ahead and make Mr. Rogers' image a little bit smaller so that I can get Mr. Rogers kind of on the same line without getting broken up. Okay, so I'm going to press that and say Edit Image again. Okay, I'll go to about 70%. 80%. That looks good. Okay, another thing that you can do here using cropping, maybe I don't want it to be such a vertical shaped image, so I can play with that right there, and then I press crop and it'll actually crop that picture, and now I'll press done and it fits on there a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and actually change the size of this font here to a little bit smaller to get what I'm after. There we go. That looks pretty nice. Okay. So the last thing we're going to do is add a link here, just so you can kind of see how you might add a link to your page. And I'm going to link to more information about Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, on the Wikipedia site. So I'll put a little text here that says, read more about me. And then I'm going to select the text that I want to be the link. This is the part that you'll be able to click on to get to the page that I'm linking to. So I select that, and then I press the link button right up here. Okay, so right in here I need to paste in the link of the page that I want this link to take people to. So let's go grab that link real quick. I already have it set up here, so I'll grab that web address. Command C for copy. You can also go to the edit menu and do the same thing. Command C is a little bit quicker. Okay, okay, there we go. There's our URL link. So I'll paste that in there. Usually I grab the web address even before I go to hook up the link, and then I don't have to try and find this window. All right, and we'll press insert, and now that's a link. So let's save what we've done and test it out. More about me. Click on that. It should take us to another page. Okay. And it does. Great. Okay, so we've set up our home page. I think it's a good idea to keep your home page fairly simple, not too much scrolling. And now we're going to set up two more pages, a calendar and a document manager. But before we do that, let's go ahead and delete all these pages that we're not using here. You see, there's a whole bunch of pages that just kind of come for free when you get your SchoolCenter account. Let's go ahead and delete these so we can start from scratch. Be careful not to delete the page you just built. Okay, we don't want to delete this page. So we'll go to the document manager page, and here's how I can delete this page. Right up here where it says delete page, click that. It says, are you sure? Yes, we're sure. Okay, good. So we'll just go through, picking each page that we want to get rid of and deleting it. Okay, and I know we're going to create our own calendar page, but we'll delete it for now. Alright, so we're all clean now. Good. We've got our home page. Let's go ahead and create a new page. Look right up here under the edit menu for creating a new page. Click on that. Okay, these are all the different kinds of pages you can create. You can explore these on your own. When you click on any of them, a little description pops up. There's our classroom calendar, so select that and say Add Page. Okay, and we can ignore all this stuff for now. The one thing you might do is just give your calendar a name. If you have something specific that you want to name your calendar, this will show up at the top of your page and in the navigation to the left. Okay, I'm going to leave that and just say Done. Great, so here's my calendar, and I'm about to add an event, because this page is a little bit boring until you start adding events. And here's a paradigm that you can kind of use with SchoolCenter. Different kinds of SchoolCenter pages allow you to do different things. A calendar page lets you add events. A document page lets you add documents. A photo album page lets you add photos. Useful links, you add links. Depending on what kind of page you're on, you want to look right underneath this thin gray line here to see the special things that you can do for that page. So my eyes just go right here when I'm on a calendar page to add a new event. Okay, and my eyes should go to the same area when I'm on a document manager page and I want to add a document. Okay, so we'll click on New Event, and this is almost like filling out an email, right? Think of this as like the To field. Tell it what date we're going to put it on. Okay, let's say the 29th, and this will be back to school meeting. You can add text here that will, additional text. You can almost build your own web page to go for each event. There's all these different tabs and options here. Let's not worry about those right now. Let's just add a location. Okay, and then let's go down here and say Done. Alright, so we've got our first event here. If we go to month view, we get kind of this calendar looking thing, and all your events will show up either in list view like that or calendar. Okay, so that's how you manage a calendar. You might want to add categories, so I'll go there, and for this is useful for things like you want to have a category for assignments, and we can add that. Now we've got a category for assignments. Let's do one for field trips. Okay, so now I've got some categories. I'll say Done. And now when I add events, I can assign them to a category. So let's say back to school meeting, I'm going to add that. I'm going to go back and edit that, right? And I can go to the categories tab and give it a category. Okay, and then that category color will show up with the event. Okay, so there's the basics of calendars. Let's go ahead and add a new page for documents. So I'll press New Page up here. Go to Document Manager, Add Page. Same thing. I can call this whatever I want. I'll say Classroom Documents. And I'll just ignore the rest of this for now and say Done. Alright, wonderful. Now we can, you notice there's content boxes here, so I can click and add content to those boxes just like I did on my home page. But what's really special about the document page is that I can add a new document, and look, right here is that button that I was talking about earlier Whenever we want to do something specific to that page, we look right underneath this gray bar here, and there it is, new document. Okay, so I'll add a new document. I need to get a document real quick. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and upload a document. The music for It's Such a Good Feeling, the Mr. Rogers theme song, my favorite. Alright, there's the file. It's on my desktop, so say new document, and I'm going to use standard mode. Enhanced mode is a great way to upload 20 documents at one time, because you can just drag and drop, but I believe you need to use Firefox in order for that to work. Last time I did it in Safari, it did not work. So standard mode, select upload, and this is a great way to upload 1 or 2 documents. Choose file, and there it is. It's such a good feeling. Choose. Okay, it's done. And I can press done here, and now I can give it a name. Now this is the one time in your life where you're allowed to delete this file extension and just make it a nice human readable name. So I'll just put It's Such a Good Feeling. Okay, and we'll say done. And now that file has been added. And the power of the document manager is that it does a really good job of organizing multiple files. If all you have is one file, you can just put it as an attachment anywhere, like using this attachment button right here, and you can put little attachments to the bottom of a content box. But if you have multiple files, like over 4 or 5 files that you need to manage, the document manager is a great place to do that. And it makes it fairly easy to maintain, because to add a new one, you just log in, press new document, load it up, give it a name, and everyone has access to it. Okay, here's how we can manage the categories. Click on the Manage Categories button, and we can add a new category. So I'm going to add a category for songs. And parent just means if you want to have a folder within a folder, then you would give it a parent, but I'm not going to use that. So then I'll just scroll down and say done. Okay, now this file here, I want that to be in my songs category, so I can go back and edit it just by rolling my mouse over the file and clicking on that pencil, and then I can edit this document. This is also how I delete documents. Okay, so I'll say edit document, and for categories I go song, and now I've put that document in the songs category. Okay, and then if I filter by songs, it shows me just this one. Okay. So there you go. That's the basics of adding a main page, classroom calendar, and document manager to your SchoolCenter page.
It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up